Colin Nathaniel Scott was born in the city of Portland, Oregon, located in the United States. On May 21, 2016, Colin received his bachelor's degree in psychology. Shortly after graduation, he was accepted into the doctoral program at Portland State University. In addition to his academics, Colin worked at the Jackson Bottom Wetlands Preserve in Hillsboro, Oregon, where he volunteered at the center. This opportunity was part of a work-study program. Through his work at the wetlands, Colin contributed to conservation efforts. Scott had traveled from Portland, Oregon, all the way to meet his sister. After meeting, two siblings made a decision to visit Yellowstone National Park on June 7. They were eager to explore the park and unique geothermal features. Upon reaching Yellowstone, they parked their vehicle near the Norris Geyser Basin. This area is one of the hottest geyser basin in the entire park, and it is situated near the northwest edge of Yellowstone. As they stepped out of the car, Scott and his sister were greeted by the unmistakable scent of sulfur wafting through the air, a constant reminder of the geothermal activity bubbling beneath the surface. The Norris Geyser Basin is famous not only for its incredible beauty but also for its inherent danger. The ground is pockmarked with steaming vents and pools of boiling acidic water, which can reach temperatures high enough to cause severe burns or worse. The siblings approached the boardwalks that meandered through the basin. The thermal pools found in Yellowstone National Park can reach dangerously high temperatures, peaking at 205 degrees Fahrenheit. This staggering heat is not merely uncomfortable, it is powerful enough to inflict third-degree burns in mere seconds, posing a significant hazard to anyone who might come into contact with the scalding water. Serious injuries have been documented among those who have inadvertently slipped into Yellowstone's hot springs. These individuals have emerged with severely damaged skin, often described as peeling away from their bodies, and many have suffered damage to their vision, resulting in a stark whiteness that blinds them from the intense heat and steam. Colin and Sable strayed from the designated boardwalk near the Pork Chop Geyser. In their curiosity, they walked several hundred feet up a hill, into the basin's thermal areas. Unfortunately, geothermal features pose potential dangers lurking just beneath the surface. To prevent the risks associated with these hot springs, park officials have implemented a strict closure policy, designed to protect visitors from the dangers of wandering too close to the thermal pools. Visitors are strongly urged to adhere to park guidelines and remain on marked paths to avoid life-threatening injuries while exploring the park. Warning signs have been prominently posted throughout the park to alert visitors to the dangers and restrictions associated with certain areas. Unfortunately, these warnings have been consistently overlooked or disregarded by many individuals. Some visitors have been specifically drawn to indulge in a popular activity known as hot potting. This practice involves soaking in natural hot springs. However, swimming in hot springs is strictly forbidden within the park's boundaries. Despite these precautions, it appears that visitors continue to venture into prohibited areas, putting themselves at risk. Nevertheless, Colin decided to soak in the pool. This thermal pool measured approximately 6 feet in length and 4 feet in width. Around 2:20 p.m., while Sable was recording them, Colin crouched down near the edge of the hot spring to check the temperature of the water, hoping to gauge the temperature. Unfortunately, he misjudged his footing and slipped. In a split second, he lost his balance and fell directly into the steaming water. This caught Sable completely off guard, and the thrill of the adventure quickly morphing into concern for her brother's safety. She was unable to rescue her brother from the scalding waters and sustained injuries while trying to. There was a complete absence of mobile phone service at the basin, which meant that Sable found herself in a situation where she was unable to call for help immediately. Her best option was to head toward the adjacent Ranger Museum, and Sable set off to call for help. Sable contacted Yellowstone Interpretive Ranger, Rosa Prasser, at the museum. Ranger Prasser contacted the Yellowstone Communications Center by radio to request help. Rangers Rick Lee and George Brecht were the first to reach the hot spring where the incident took place. Rest of the authorities reached the site at 5:41 p.m. Upon their arrival at the spring, they were met with a harrowing scene. Colin, just 23 years old, lost his life due to scalding. His body was partially dissolved in the pool due to acidic nature, when previously tested, the pool had similar acidity of battery acid. The remains of Scott were horrifyingly scattered, his upper torso, hands, and head lay in disarray, fragmented and barely recognizable. Floating next to the subject was the bottom of an orange-bottomed flip-flop style shoe. Another matching flip-flop was found approximately 1 to 2 feet from the edge of the thermal pool. Due to the hazardous nature associated with walking near the edge of the feature without additional safety protection in place, the subject and all items were left in place. The water was muddy and gray in color. Due to the nature of the water, it was not possible to see within the water. The conditions at the spring were treacherous. The water was 100 degrees Celsius, which is 212 degrees Fahrenheit. Furthermore, it was getting dark and a lightning storm was predicted, adding a pressing urgency to their situation. Given these severe circumstances, the officials faced the decision to postpone the retrieval of the remains. The combination of extreme heat and the threat of dangerous weather made it impossible to safely recover what was left of Scott at that moment. They were forced to wait until conditions improved. So authorities left the site at 8:17 p.m. When the authorities returned to the spring the following morning, they were met with a scene that was both shocking and grim. Scott's body had completely disintegrated, rendered unrecognizable by the corrosive nature of the acidic pool. The harsh chemicals in the water had taken a devastating toll, leaving behind little more than remnants of what had once been a human being. The recovery team tried to recover some remains by using long catch poles that are used to clean out thermal areas, but no remains were found. Despite the complete dissolution of his body, some of Scott's personal effects remained scattered around the site. His wallet and flip-flops were found by the pool. Colin's cause of death listed as scalding and submersion in thermal hot spring on his death certificate. According to park reports, the thermal pool was going to be checked approximately once a month to see if any remains could be found with fluctuating water levels. The National Park Service states that because hot springs are the primary natural cause of death or injury in Yellowstone due to their heat and acidity, visitors must remain on the boardwalks. Since 1890, at least 22 people have perished in Yellowstone hot spring accidents, according to park officials. So that's all we got for this episode, and thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please hit the like button. If you want to see more videos, hit the subscribe button, and if you have something to say, please leave a comment.